friends, and welcome back to my channel. This is Nova Gnome Creations, and I'm Nova, and I am so happy to see you today. I hope that you are doing well, and I hope that you and your loved ones are taking care the best that you can. And I hope that everybody had a fantastic week. It is Friday, so you made it through the week, and you're going into the weekend. I hope you guys have something fun going on this weekend, even if it is just getting to chill, maybe taking a hot bath, maybe working on some crochet projects, something that is just for you, something that is going to bring you some joy, that is not for anyone else, that is not you taking care of anyone else, taking care of something that you have to do, just something that is purely for your enjoyment. So I hope that you will make sure you do something like that this weekend. If you have something in mind, let me know down in the comments what you're thinking about getting up to. It is super important that you take care of yourself and that you put yourself first, because if you don't take care of you and you don't put you first, then you're going to fizzle out and you're not going to be able to take care of everybody around you and everything around you and keep on keeping on the way that you want to. So I hope that you keep that in mind and that you make that time for yourself. Today is Friday, which means it is Community Spotlight. So if you are new here, welcome to the cozy little corner of YouTube. I hope that you find this to be the comfiest, coziest little corner. I hope that you come in, you leave your worries at the door, check them in with the doorman, he'll stash them in the back for you, and then you can decide whether to pick them up later or to leave them if they are not things that are going to benefit you. If they're not going to benefit you, I recommend leaving them. You don't need that. You don't need that bad mojo jojo. Mojo jojo. Mojo. Bad mojo. Why did I add another Joe? Mojo Jojo? Is that a thing? I don't think that's a thing. Anyway, you don't need those bad vibes. You don't need that negativity weighing you down. But I know sometimes stresses and anxieties are actually valid. Like, there's reasons that you're having them. Maybe it is something you have to take care of, and you can't just leave that anxiety and that stress and that weight and pressure forever, but you can leave it for a little bit. So leave them, come into the cozy little corner, take a deep breath, and just take a seat, chill, maybe pull up a project, maybe pull up a drink, grab yourself something yummy, something special, a little treat for yourself. Maybe throw a little whipped cream on the top of your coffee, something that's going to just feel a little bit special. And I hope that you hang out and have a great time here. So on Fridays, on my channel. Oh, and welcome back, my gnomies. Not just welcome to the new people. If you are not new here, welcome back, my gnomie. I am super duper happy that you are here as well. But I just real quick wanted to let everybody know who doesn't know what Community Spotlight is. That is where I come on Fridays and I showcase my community. If you're watching this video, that means you are part of my community. So what we do is throughout the week, you can send in your makes. My email is always in the description box of all of my videos, but it is novagnomecreations@gmail.com. You send in your makes at any time, night or day. You can send in as many as you want. Does not have to be crochet. Anything that you make, you can send. Send me pictures. Let me know in the subject line, put Community Spotlight so that I know that it's for Community Spotlight. And somewhere in your email, let me know what name you'd like me to credit you with. This can be your first name, your first and last name. It could be your YouTube alias. If you want me to include a handle for a social media account, like Instagram or YouTube or Etsy even, I am happy to do that. So just let me know what you would like me to credit you as. And you know, if you would like to be anonymous or something, I suppose we could do that as well. I've never had anybody be anonymous for Community Spotlight, but if you wanted to be anonymous, you could. And then I will come on here on Friday. I will get into my email. I look for all those shiny, bold-faced emails that say Community Spotlight because I don't open them until Friday, so they stay nice and bold-faced and crispy, and it's also just less stressful for me to constantly be fielding emails. I like to just on Fridays open all of them up and do it all at one time, and it's just easier for me. So if you send in something, I will check it out on Friday and I will put it into the video. So you'll get to be included in our little montage. And I always ask that if you are here hanging out, that you drop a nice comment if you are feeling up to it, if you have the time. Obviously, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't drop a comment. If you are too busy, or maybe you're on watching in a format that you can't type, that is totally fine. Don't feel bad about that. But if you are capable of dropping a comment and just giving a little bit of positive feedback to people that are sending Community Spotlight makes in, that is so appreciated. Basically, the whole idea for Community Spotlight is this is somewhere where you can share your makes with like-minded people who are going to appreciate them. So this can be your little sounding board of oohs and ahs. This can be that place where you're really proud of something that you've done and you want to come show it off to people that get it. People that are actually going to be excited about it. Maybe in your personal life, you don't have anybody that's really that excited about it. You know, we have our little niches of crafting, and, you know, people who aren't into, say, crochet, maybe they aren't as excited as you would like them to be. Maybe they don't understand how difficult something is, or how different something is from what you normally make, or just that you've gotten better and you want somebody to really like notice it. You made something new. You want somebody to be like impressed, you know? Just people to be excited for you. And I love that we can come together and inspire each other with our creations, because seeing what everybody else is up to is so inspiring, and it's so cool to see the different types of things that people get up to. You know, some of it may not be something that you would make, but it's so fun to see someone else make it. Maybe it's too meticulous. You're not like, you don't want to spend like a whole bunch of time making a giant blanket, but you still love to see it. You still appreciate the craft, you know? You appreciate the craftsmanship that went behind it. So it's just a really fun thing for us to all kind of come together and as a community enjoy each other's work and leave positive comments. Like I always say, you don't know what that person is going through. And this is true for everything in life. You don't know what people are going through around you. You may not think much of you dropping a positive comment. And like I said, this could be in person too. Making a positive comment, make a positive remark to someone. You may not think much of it. You know, maybe you're surrounded by that type of behavior and you're used to those types of things and it just seems like normal and little and not a big deal. That person may not hear those things. That person may not have anybody that says nice things to them. That may be the positive comment that is going to get them through the next week. Like, you don't know what people are going through. So I really also like it for that aspect, that we can all come on here and just kind of lift each other up. So that's what Fridays are here. It is Community Spotlight, and also it is our community blanket project updates. So if you wondered what I was picking up here and working on, I have started working on our community blanket. So I've started to connect together pieces. Let me move some things around and I can show you a little strip over here. We've got one strip right here, and I took pictures and videos, and I will be inserting those, but I am doing single crochets in the back. So this is the back side of the work right now. I'm doing just the back loops of the squares. So on the back, it gives you this pretty little ridge, and then on the front, you get the nice defined shape of the squares and just a little bit of that color peeking through. And I'm using this absolutely gorgeous yarn. This is one of the yarns that I have been like hoarding for a long time, that I absolutely love. It's a hand-dyed yarn. It's glittery. It's stunning. I love it. This was just from Hobby Lobby. And I've used a little bit of it here and there, like double-stranded. I don't usually make things out of thin yarns like this. So I've used it double-stranded with stuff. It's glittery. It has the prettiest fine glitter. You can kind of see it twirling in there. And it's really soft. And I wanted something like thin to connect the squares with because I have squares of all different sizes and stitch counts. So some of them have like tighter stitches and lots of stitches. For example, this one, you'll notice that the sides of it, there are lots of little tight stitches. Well, I'm connecting sides like this with sides like this, where it's, you know, bigger, fluffier stitches and not as many. So what I'm doing is I'm, like say on the bigger, fluffier square, I line them up if they line up. If they don't line up, that's totally fine. But I line them up. And then I will like skip stitches on the tightly stitched one as needed to line them up nicely and work into the bigger, fluffier stitches. But I'm using a 2.75, I was just making sure, millimeter crochet hook, and so that enables me to work into those little tight stitches as well as the looser stitches. And I think that a 2.75 will probably work for all of the squares that I have. Maybe not the thread square that I have, but we'll see when we get to it, and I can always size down if I need to. But yeah, so I'm doing them this way because I am making this community blanket with squares of all different sizes. So like the ones I just showed you, if you're new here and you haven't been seeing all these unboxings of the squares as they come in, those ones were like kind of roughly the same size. But then I also have squares like these, like how this one is a much bigger square. I have, for size reference here, give me 1 second. I keep sitting the square I'm currently connecting together on top of everything. So for size reference, I'm working these together. So I'm working them together. This one is connected. And then I'm going to be making smaller squares, strips, bordering the edges, whatever I need to do to make them work together, or filling in small spaces with smaller squares and bigger spaces with bigger squares. Basically, I'm making a puzzle with all of the granny squares that I have gotten, kind of like a Tetris sort of thing going on. So I'm doing 20 by 20 squares, like chunks basically, 20 inches by 20 inches. And then when I have, you know, however many of them, depending on how many squares we end up getting, I will put all of the 20 inch by 20 inch pieces together, and then that will be the blanket. So I have started working on the first 20 by 20 inch piece. I laid everything out in front of me to get an idea of what I was doing, and then now I'm working on connecting together different sections of the granny squares. And then once I do that, I'll lay it all out again. I have it, well, I'm laying it out as I go, because once I connect them together, things shift a little bit. And then I'll be making pieces to fill in the gaps, or grabbing a color of yarn to border some sides in to make them, you know, just fill in little spaces, things like that. So that is what I'm doing to connect the squares. And I do have one square package to open. I'm assuming it's squares. I just always assume now that if I'm getting a package, it's squares. So this is from Julie Ann. Let me open it. I have not started opening it yet, but this will be very easy to open. All of the squares are shifted to one side, which is nice. That makes it easier for me to open without any worry of cutting the squares. I was really, it's so exciting to get these squares from you guys and see your names on here and be like, ah! Like, I just get so geeked every time. All right, let me make sure there's nothing else in there. Not letting you guys peep addresses, so I'm kind of trying to keep them angled. Got my little tissue wrapped squares. Present time, present time. Open the present and see what's inside. This is like the most fun thing ever. I literally love opening these squares. All right, I'm gonna look at the card before I look at the squares. Oh, that's so cute. This is so cute. It says be kind to animals, and it has like a little kid drawing of a girl and some pets, some fur babies. That's so cute. And it was just a little note that says, "Hi Nova, here is my contribution to the community blanket. Can't wait to see it when it's done, Julianne." All right, super excited to add these. So we have a beautiful blue shades, changing colors every round. Gorgeous. Ooh, a sunflower. So squishy and fluffy. This purple and pink and gray kind of theme going on. And another flower. I don't know if this is supposed to be a specific flower or if it's just cool looking. I don't think there are any flowers with blue centers, so I'm going to go with cool looking. I love the color scheme though. These are beautiful. See if I can spread them all out. Gorgeous and squishy and awesome. These are going to be so nice in the blanket. Thank you so much, Julianne. I'm super, super happy to have something from you in the community blanket. That is absolutely awesome. I'm so happy that so many of you guys are participating, and I get to have something made by you to put into this blanket. It means so much to me. I took some video clips of how I'm putting everything together. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to those. But basically, yeah, I'll just switch over to those. And then I will be doing the community spotlight montage. So we did just have a big community spotlight on Tuesday. That was like our big Halloween video. So I don't expect to have as many submissions for this one, but I will dig into there and see what we've got and put them together for you guys. I hope you guys have a beautiful Friday. I hope that you have something fun to do. And if you don't, make something fun to do. Make some time for yourself. Do something that's going to bring you some joy. And I will see you guys tomorrow for Gnome of the Month. All right, bye guys. So basically the first thing I started doing was, at first I was just kind of randomly putting them next to each other. And then I was like, actually, I'm going to try to sort them by kind of vibes, I guess. So I have different piles of like the different vibes from them. Kind of like color schemes and things like that. And then I went with one of the piles and started getting enough to put together to make a square. And here's an example of what I mean when I say I'm going to make tiny squares to like fill in gaps. I don't know if that one will actually end up in the final thing once it's all connected, but it was just kind of to show you what I'm talking about. But this will be a 20 by 20 inch. And here's the yarn that I'm using to connect the squares together. There's the little 2.75 hook. And here's what it looks like on the front. And then here's what it looks like on the back. And then here's another set of squares that's connected. Here's the front. And here's the back.